JD, we're here after a 3-1 defeat at Dagenham. Give us your thoughts on that one.
Got really kind of mixed emotions. Firstly, look, congratulations to Dagenham. You know, they've scored. They beat us 3-1. I thought there was some parts of the game we're coming away like really happy with. Some spells we had were really good and really positive. Obviously playing against a physical, robust side, you know, a good side as well. They had a slow start to the season. They've started to, you know, turn the corner a little bit, you know, and they're getting up the league table. So there's no doubts that we're playing an opposition that will be, you know, right up there this year. And like I say, in spells, I think we've done really well in the game. There's parts we've really dominated the ball. We've got up to the final third and still started a little bit, but that's part of their good defending as well. They've got, you know, there's some, you know, some real sharpness. They turned the ball over a couple of times. And then I suppose, Ryan, the bit we've got to be really disappointed in is 3 goals we conceded. You know, the prep is always, they can play diagonal balls, obviously, to Andy Carroll. I think that's how the first one comes, diagonal ball, Andy Carroll knocked down, then they score. You know, so that's disappointing. We've then given the ball up, we've scored, and then 2 minutes later given the ball up on the edge of the box, which is a poor decision. They've scored, and then corner, Andy Carroll corner. It's just like, when you come to Dagenham, because they've got really good players and a good side, you want to kind of get beaten really by someone sticks it in the stanchion, or you get opened up, and I'll be the first to stand up there and say, look, that's top play. You know, you walk away, but I think we have got to be disappointed with the 3 goals, and that's what I said about mixed emotions. I think we've got to be pleased with some spells in the game, how we've played. When we've equalised, I thought we were, you know, that period before we equalised, we were really on top. But ultimately, you can't come to Dagenham and concede 3 goals, especially like we did. So, and you can say we deserve what we got.
Freshened it up tonight, 5 or 6 changes, I think it was in the end. Just a tough week, I guess, just getting some fresh legs out there.
Ebbsfleet full-time, Dagenham full-time, Dorking full-time in 7 days. So you're not going to get the physical output out of possession. It's going to be, you know, it's going to be a lot to ask of the boys. So yeah, I don't know how many total changes we made. We made 5, 6 changes, and just because of that, you know, to have that physical output in the game, and yeah, that was our thought process behind it.
One of those changes was Jayden Bartolo. He's obviously had a stop-start spell with us so far with international duty and FA Trophy, couldn't play and things like that. Good performance from him up top?
Yeah, I think we've done it because we know obviously Dagenham we thought they would start really aggressive and really bright. I thought actually the first kind of 15 minutes we probably paid them too much respect. I don't think we jumped up as much as we tried to plan for, you know, to put pressure on their back 3. So Jayden obviously and Mitch, they give you that kind of with their legs and you know, put pressure on the ball. And when we start to do that after 15-20 minutes, not just Jayden but the other guys, you know, I think it gives a bit much more of a foothold to get into the game. So yeah, that was you know, from playing Jayden and Mitch, you know, as the pairing, is obviously to try and put a bit of pressure on the ball, to turn the ball over.
Lewis Rolfe was back in a Chesham shirt for the first time in a couple of weeks. Nice to see him back.
Yeah, he done well. Yeah. He's obviously out 5-6 weeks and when I got a couple of games, and you know, I thought we had a very steady game, should we say, a game that tough to come into, like coming away to Dagenham, you know, in periods obviously when they kind of dominate the game, you know, you've got to be at it and you've got to be physical, and I thought Rolfie did that. I mean, he's a fit boy anyway, so he was in good condition. We wouldn't have thrown him in if we didn't think if he was going to suffer. So yeah, no qualms with how we played and he performed.
It's always been a tough couple of games, a bit fine margins in the first 2. Obviously beaten by a couple today. Doesn't get any easier though on Saturday. Dorking Wanderers come to the Meadow, another tough game. Best not remember last year's game against them, but it's a tough week, finishes, and we've got the same week in repeat again in March. How'd you go into Saturday? Yeah,
let's hope we put on a better performance and a better showing from last year when they beat us 5-1. But that is what these teams can do, because I think, Ryan, when you look at the Ebbsfleet this game, and I'm guessing with the Dorking game as well, because they've got so much quality on the pitch, even if you defend really well or you hold spells of the ball, you just always got to be on your A game a little bit, because they've got so much quality that can, you know, they can turn in a goal, you know, and they just stick it in the stanchion, like we say. So you've got to be really alert when you play these teams. So again, they're probably similar to how, you know, Ebbsfleet and Dagenham are performing now, where they might have had a little bit of an indifferent or slower start, and you know, now they're starting to, you know, really turn a corner. They're putting some good performances, and they've climbed up the table as well. So yeah, very difficult week where we're home, which will be nice to go back home and to put a performance and get a result at home. Dorking will be a very, very tough game. Like I say, they've got some very, very good individuals, I think, especially in the top areas, where if we're not on it, a little bit like today really, where we just switched off or we gave a ball up on the edge of the box in the corner from Andy Carroll, they can just punish you. So we've definitely got to reflect on this game on Thursday and look at how we've conceded these goals. I think we've really got to take the positives out of it. When we did have our spells, how well we did with building our possession. We scored again, so it's good that Cole got his goal. And we've got to think about those, how we can take it into the Dorking game, because it will be a very tough fixture, a tough game. So yeah, that's why we loved getting in this division, right? So we can have weeks like this and come to let's enjoy the ride, enjoy the journey, and let's set up a plan to try and get something out of Dorking.
And you said we're at home Saturday. We're actually at the start of a week at home with MK Dons in the cup afterwards, and then Dover. How important is it to be back at home and get a big crowd in and support the boys?
I've got to say the fans again. The Ebbsfleet game was absolutely horrific weather. We've got fans standing in the rain and supporting us, and they come. Such loyal fans, and again, great crowd today. They've come and give us a clap at the end, and that's a real boost for the boys. So I would like to say a big thank you to the guys that have travelled and to help us. And let's try and get. I'm sure Dorking will bring a few over. So let's try and get as many fans as we can at the home ground, and we'll put in a good preparation on Thursday. We get the boys ready, and it'll be a good game. So get yourselves down there, and we've got 3 home games in a row, and let's try and put in 3 big performances.
Thanks, JD. We'll see you and everyone back at the Meadow on Saturday.